G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, we've got the bugged Prelate, who's going to be playing a little bit of the Rus for us today, opening us up with a scout. His opponent who spawns on the opposite side of the map, it is Goliath, also known as Hut, a fellow Australian. He is a streamer on Twitch, so I'll leave a link in the description over to his channel. You can go check him out there. He's quite a good player. Both of these players ranked within the top 100, and he's playing the Holy Roman Empire. So, starting us off with a Prelate already out onto that gold mine. You can see two villagers out there nice and early. Yet to buff them up with the Prelate, but keep in mind, Prelates are notoriously bugged, and hence our Rus player's name, the bugged Prelate. So, he's going to be starting off by heading out towards the middle of the map. Check out the sheep. He's already began to pull up. So 5 sheep, looking like he's going to head straight into Hut's base and pick up a couple of sheep early as well. So Hut going to be a little bit behind, I would say, at this point, as the scout looks to make a loop around the back of his base. Still got a whole bunch of deer here on the front side, but take a look how nice and safe this is. There is plenty of forest in here, 67 trees in total, and it is guarding up this this hunt. So there's no way at all the Rus player is going to get to this. I mean, you could probably sneak through a couple of scouts back in like this and then get behind here, but you know, that requires a lot of foresight and probably map hacks, and as far as I'm aware, there's no map hacks yet for Age of Empires 4. So now towards the north of the map, Goliath, aka Hut, having a little bit of a struggle here, fighting off against his opponent. Now, one thing to note is that the Rus player has obviously got a second scout that'll be coming out to reinforce sooner rather than later. And take a look at what we've got here. So obviously, this is Altai. Altai is notorious for the worst spawns. Actually, is it the worst spawning map? Now that I think about it, there's Altai that spawns pretty badly. I think Boulder Bay spawns badly sometimes as well, but I think Altai is like consistently poor. So a nice little choke point here towards the front of the base. Going to be easy to wall that one up. If the bugged Prelate so wishes to do so, but now a little bit of a mistake coming here. This is something that I've noticed Rus players do a lot. So they manage to get one scout out onto the map, and the second scout goes out and follows, but the issue is they run out of sheep. I've noticed a lot of players doing this, so even like top 10 Rus players running out of sheep, and all it takes is to just send out your scout before it comes out. Just send your scout to the back, grab one sheep, do a little bit of a loop around, grab the second sheep, and just bring them back to the town center. And that's going to give you enough time, because by then, you're going to have your main scout coming back, and he's going to be bringing in the 7 sheep, and that'll get you through to where you need to go. But as a result, it sort of delays the age up here. So look, I don't think it's necessarily criticism pegged at bugged Prelate. It's more just a consequence of the Rus playstyle, and just that you want to be aggressively on the map taking out deer, but at the same time, you kind of need to pay attention to your own food sources, and that can live to sort of haunt you if you're not careful. We've got the lumber camp that's now going to be going up for bugged Prelate, obviously dropping down the Golden Gate as well. We can expect that he's going to be going professional scouts into the all-important, the one and only Fast Castle with the Abbey of the Trinity. So that is what we're looking for. We can see there's a lot of relics on his side of the map. He's got 3 down here and then 2 back up in the base of Hut on the opposite side. Now, one of the things, I guess I'll raise this right now, is just something that I haven't seen players do. If you know that your enemy, right, like this spawns on the minimap, okay? And one thing to note is that when these get taken, they actually disappear off the minimap. So let's say that you're playing as Hut right now. He's playing the Holy Roman Empire, and he wants to get these relics in. So if he looks on the minimap and he sees that this relic is gone from the minimap, even if he doesn't have line of sight on it, he can tell that the relic has actually been taken. But I'm curious what happens if this relic gets picked up and then gets dropped off in this stealth forest. Or if it just gets picked up and then just dropped down right next to it. Does it still appear taken on the minimap? And if so, that could potentially be used to great exploit. Now, both of these civilizations, this is essentially a relic war is what you're going to have here. So obviously we've got the Rus player going to be selling off some food if he hasn't already. Actually, there we go. Now going to be selling, no, not selling that food just yet. I'm waiting for it. He's going for a scout in first. This is curious here. So normally we would just see him at this point, considering he has aged up, just go straight for professional scouts. But obviously he's lacking the wood to do it at the moment. Needs 75 wood. So probably a little bit of a hole in his build order. We'll have to see how he plays it. Hut now reaching the next age. We'll take a look and see, has Hut got professional scouts already coming in? Look at that, Hut on board, and gonna be, look at this beautiful build order coming out from Hut, cashing in all of those wood choppers and dropping down the stable with 3 villagers. He's got the mill, going to be gathering or researching professional scouts, so he is not mucking around when it comes to his professional scouts. He's already got one scout out on the field, going to begin slowly adding in more scouts, but we'll take a look over at his opponent, see whether we've got professional scouts on the way. Indeed we do. Finally coming through now, so he's got one scout on the field. A villager coming out? What have we got here? Is he going to be walling in the relics this early? Surely not. Is this a misclick? What is he doing with this? I'm so confused. Is he going to be walling? There's got to be something to do with walls, right? Like, maybe he's going to wall this hunt in or something like that. I don't even know. This is really curious. No, we've actually got Hut doing the walls. Look at this. It's the new wall meta. It is 100% the new wall meta. We are seeing players do this more and more. And I love this villager coming out. Look, he's walling the relics. Oh my god, both players on Goliath or Hut side of the map walling in resources. Both players realizing, you know what? You're going for the scouts. I'm going for the scouts. You're going for the relics. I'm going to go for the relics as well. And look at this. Beautiful walls coming in here. He tries to get them down, but obviously the scouts finding this. Bug Prelate going to have a tough time trying to get these walls up. We see multiple scouts in here. It looks like he's actually going to kill the herdable sheep, but does he do it on top of his walls? I think he might do it right on top of his wall segment here. This villager going to be going down, but I tell you what, I am absolutely in awe of this coming out so early in the game. And look at Hut already with these walls up. He's got to be careful. I think he's probably going to be able to get through this back spot, so hopefully he's paying attention. But the scout now beginning to move around. I think these we've got professional scouts that has been researched. 4 scouts in queue now for his enemy. 1 scout going to be taking away that carcass, and we can see Hut trying his best to do some damage there, but not going to be successful. That villager going down as well. Now, keep in mind, this sheep carcass that's out here can actually be brought in by the professional scouts. I absolutely love this. I'm in absolute awe of how funny this is. This is insane, like, because players have started doing this. This was look, hey, I'm just going to throw out a little bit of a brag here. This is something I've been doing for weeks. I've been walling in, or at least trying to wall in my hunts, trying to wall in my relics, but I'm really glad to see that it is actually catching on in the meta, because it makes total sense. The issue comes is if you don't contest it, that's when it becomes a real issue. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you put up these walls, okay, but you don't go professional scouts, because what's going to happen is the Rus player, he's going to bring in all of his deer, and then he's going to be like, well, hold on a minute, there's still deer behind those walls, I'm going to take them. And so they start sieging down these walls here, and then if you're not contesting it, if you're just doing your own thing, you're going like a 2TC boom or a Song Dynasty boom if you're playing Chinese Drongo, then you've got an issue, because you're delaying your enemy, but you're not stopping them from getting those resources, and that's really what's happening. And look at this beautiful wall coming in both sides of the relic. So a really smart decision here, walling in this relic for safety. Now, curious to note that Bug Prelate has actually got 3 relics on his side. So he's got the one here, a little bit of a chase happening up towards this northern hunt here, but I suspect there's not going to be too many issues. Is he trying to block? He's trying to block. He's trying to body block, get in there. Bug Prelate going to be clicking up now. 8 minutes, a pretty decent time. If you do really prioritize your age up time, you can get it up at 8 minutes. We have seen players do that, absolutely skyrocketing it. But now, because Hut has looked to get out a couple of horsemen, he's obviously going to be delayed in his age up. He's 100 food out for this horseman, so he's going to be 100 food behind. I don't think we see any other horsemen out, just the single horseman. And I like that these villagers have decided to build a house here. So they are, they've grown accustomed to the walls, the deer nearby, the little tree, and they said, we're going to set up shop here. We've got our well behind the base, and we're going to be absolutely fine. And Hut continuing to do a little bit of damage up here, but not really doing too much. More just being an annoyance rather than anything. And look at this, a little deer carcass. Let's see if Hut picks that one up. Doesn't look like he does. And so now we've got his opponent, Bugged Prelate, hitting the castle age and going to be hitting it much before Hut. So Hut, keep in mind, both players are doing the exact same game plan. So it is professional scouts into relics. That's the game plan, okay? Abbey of the Trinity going to be coming out now, so quite a far ahead of Hut. And actually, wrong player, there we go. Okay, Regnitz Cathedral now going to be going up for him. But take a look how many villagers are on this. We've got 12 villagers on that. It is an absolute race. He needs to get his prelates out and immediately get them out and about, because I guarantee you this warrior monk is going to be heading right over towards Hut's base. We can actually see it is directly heading straight towards this relic. So if I'm Hut right now, I'm probably even sending out a prelate nice preemptively, waiting for for myself to get up to the Castle Age, and then immediately picking up that relic as quickly as possible. Now Hutt in the middle of the map, going to be able to fend off an attack by his opponent. Both players grabbing in their deer hunts. Obviously, there's still a single carcass that remains here, but we've got 13 out of 14 for the first player, and we've got Hutt, who has managed to bring in all of his deer as well. Now, I think there was one that got stolen in there, and now we see that warrior monk heading out across the map. Hutt is going to realize this. He needs to evacuate his prelate from this and head up towards this because this didn't get walled in, so we need to see that preemptive movement. But Hutt's going to be doing his best and trying to chase down this warrior monk, but my fear is that even if he manages to, chase it down, he's going to be losing control of that relic because there's going to be a second warrior monk coming out. At least there should be a second warrior monk coming out. What you doing over there, bugged prelate? And looking to secure up this one. It's incredibly important not just to gather those relics for yourself, but to deny them from your enemy. And there we go. That prelate going to be picking up the monk or the relic at the north here, and the warrior monk going to be heading home with absolutely nothing to show for. Keep in mind this relic is also walled up towards the north, so Hutt doing a really great job. And I love this next level of game or mind games meta that we've got playing on here. You can see Hutt trying his best to bring back this relic, actually bringing out a second prelate just in case the first one does go down. You can see he's trying his best. There's a lot of scouts here, but he's going to have to fall back. He knows that there's just too many units in here, and he's going to get it back home safely. And so now the question sort of turns as to whether Hutt is going to be able to seal a third relic. So obviously he's going to get two. He's got two that are very close to him, but the other three are over on his opponent's side of the map, so he's really going to have to try and think outside the box as to how he can secure that. Horse archers coming in now as well. A nice little mix for the bugged prelate. We've got 5 horse archers here. Now keep in mind they're going to have a tough time against these horsemen. A little bit of miss macro here. On the south side of the map, we've got the warrior monk that is moving towards the relics, so going to be picking up the first relic for himself, and now up towards the north. Hutt really trying to chase these down, has lost his horseman. You can see it has passed away, unfortunately, but we've got knights now in the base of the bugged prelate, and he looks like he's having a bit of a tough time here. 8 villagers do manage to get inside that wooden fortress, but now we've got the relic managing to come in. A second warrior monk out, and look at these villagers just trying their best just to tank the damage from the knights. More knights coming in now, so doubling up on the knights. I love this play from him. 15 villagers inside that town center, and Bug Prelate making a little bit of a mistake, letting these villagers get out early. Warrior Monks getting in on the action as well. Going to be providing that Saint's Blessing. You see the +1 armor coming over towards those units because they do manage to get in, and going to be able to clean that one up. There's plenty of horse archers here to deal with it, but how much damage was done? 32 villagers for the Bugged Prelate. Compare that to his opponent, who sits right now on 39. So Hutt definitely at an advantage, but really, I think he's going to just be happy with those 2 relics. Obviously, he's still got this relic up towards the north. His opponent is not happy about it, we'll say that much, but I got no idea how he's going to manage to get that out of here. We've got archery rangers now coming down for Hutt as well, so he's looking to go into a composition of archers as well as those knights, and look to try and hold off his enemy's horse archers, because it has been the question, or at least the theme of the last week or two, how do you deal with this mass of horse archers and scouts? It becomes a looming threat as the mass grows, but now we can see the horse archers doing a pretty decent job here of trading out, +1 armor coming through for those knights as well. Going to help them out a lot as they do try and tank up the front line. Veterancy coming through for those archers, and slowly these scouts are burning through this wall. He needs to get up here. He needs to pay some attention to this, and now we see the prelate moving up there, looking to secure that second relic, and now the knights are going to be able to come up here and deny it, and I think he spots those coming up, and as he falls back, the bug prelate sort of says, oh, jeez. 2 relics now for the bug prelate. 3rd relic captured up, so all 3 relics on his side of the map going over to him. A little bit unfortunate map generation there for Hutt, but I guess, 2 out of 5 ain't bad for the Holy Roman Empire. Obviously, you want to hit that 3 power spike, but it's not always going to be possible. Knight going to be going down here and doing a pretty decent job, trying his best to clean up these scouts as well. We see the damage coming off, and keep in mind, in these matchups, ideally, almost always... Wait, that prelate didn't pick up the relic. The prelate did not pick up the relic. That relic is still out and about right now. He's got to be careful. So you want to be ignoring the scouts. Take a look at the scouts. 110 health, only 6 attack. Ignore those bad boys. 14 attack behind on these horse archers. So you can see that Hutt is doing a great job of that, focusing down the horse archers here, doing a really decent job, and just keeping all of his units on them. He needs to get that prelate back in there. There we go. Prelate now moving up towards the north. That wall has been actually taken down. I don't know whether Hutt deleted that. Actually, I think it was burning now that I think about it. So the scouts did manage to burn it down, but obviously now Bug Prelate going to begin moving into a transition as well, looking to get up to Knights. So a curious decision, not just going for the full Horse Archers, and Prelate looking to come out, unfortunately going to be heading back empty-handed and going to be losing his life for that as well. So the Prelate does go down. And now we're going to look towards the Bug Prelate, probably going to be taking out the majority of the Sacred Sites on the map. There are 3 relatively evenly balanced Sacred Sites on this map. Now towards Hut's base, we'll take a look and see exactly what he's got going on. Look at the archer mass beginning to build up for him. So the theoretical counter to horse archers is actually just archers. Now there is a caveat there, and that is micro. So you have to micro your archers very well. You have to be constantly focusing down the horse archers of your enemy. That is really key. So you can't be focusing on the units that are on the front line. So scouts, you can't be focusing on the knights, because the damage dealers are going to be those horse archers on the back line. And you do have a range advantage in the Castle Age. Once it gets to the Imperial Age, well, you're on your own, my friend, because they get an upgrade, which gives them an extra 2 range. Hold on, where is it? There it is, Mounted Precision. An extra 2 range. It is absolutely ludicrous how much range they get. But now the Veteran Archer is going to be moving in. Hut looking pretty strong at this point. He's sitting at the moment, Bug Prelate, on 42 villagers, loses a Horse Archer. Hut sitting on 47 villagers, has managed to gather up 2 of those relics in the Regnitz Cathedral. Unlikely for him to take down the Abbey of the Trinity. It is sitting safely and snugly in next to this town center, very well guarded. So he is going to be committed to only having 2 relics for the rest of this game. But as I mentioned before, look, this is the matchup that is probably the most difficult for the Rus, typically because you're playing against a Civ that's going to be faster than you and basically doing the same thing. And, you know, they're just much better than you in pretty much every single way when it comes to the Warrior Monk versus the Prelate. Don't get me wrong, the Prelate is a great unit, but when it comes to Castle Age Relic fighting, the Warrior Monk is always going to be the king. Double Sacred Sites now going over towards Bug Prelate as well, so he's going to start getting that trickle of gold coming in. Sitting on about 500 gold a minute at the moment, can potentially secure up this middle Sacred Site as well, and look for that 600 gold a minute. Horse Archers continuing to come out. What kind of upgrades have we got for these bad boys? No Boyar's Fortitude just yet coming in, but does have the +2 attack, +1 defense as well at range. And now moving out with a hunting cabin. There's a boar out here. Okay, that explains it. I'm sitting here wondering, what's he doing with this hunting cabin? But it makes a lot of sense. Any other boars on the map? We'll take a look and see whether we can spot it. Oh, down here, you're actually going to spot this one out as well. So almost up to 500 bounty here, but not, unfortunately, going to be making it. Only going to be maxing out about 460, I think it will be, or 470. Yeah, 470, so about 30 short. A wolf and a sheep. If I can find a wolf and a sheep on this map, you know, maybe you can actually hit it. I don't think we're going to be in too much luck, but now we've got a knight coming down straight onto this. Hut really not skipping a beat at all. You can actually see a wooden fortress did go down here, but it wasn't quick enough as Hut moves straight down towards the boar and realizes that there is something up here and very successfully comes in and disrupts this action. But now instead of putting down the wooden fortress, it looks like he's just going to be responding with a couple of walls, and I do like this play. I think this is quite smart. One thing to note that there are warrior monks mixed in here, and I think this is a smart move. Warrior monks are incredibly strong, and oh, now we've got ourselves quite a bit of a raid coming in from Hut again. So really looking to push his opponent off this food source, realizes that his opponent needs this food source very, very badly, and is going to have to transition to farms if he cannot take this one. So we take a look at the villages that remain out on the map. There's 8 out here. How many? He's got a couple of villages back on berries at the moment. There are berries in front of his base, berries behind his base as well, but ideally he wants to be going for the boar because that does gather faster, and he probably should have the upgrade for it. No, it doesn't actually have survival techniques. I'm curious whether either player's got survival techniques. Yes, okay, Hut has got survival techniques and actually got +2 right now. That is ridiculous how many upgrades he's got. Actually, we'll take a look at every upgrade that he's got just to make sure. He's got he's got the +2 wood gathering. He doesn't have the mining upgrade because he doesn't need it because he's got the Regnitz Cathedral. You can actually see he's got 0 villagers on gold right now. Mill, he's got the double upgrades. This is impressive upgrades from Hut. I really got to admire this. We're at 18 minutes. He's got double upgrades and even coming in behind the walls and managing to get villagers in here. Going to be double outposting up this region. This is going to be difficult now because Bug Prelate, if he wants to contest this, he's really going to have to commit. And with the outpost going up, obviously they can put Springalds in there. And how do you even deal with it? Mangonels coming in now. Now we got ourselves a little bit of a party because the Mangonels are really the icing on the cake of the Rust composition here. And we're going to have to see Hut respond here with some sort of Springald response. Mangonel getting another good shot out, managing to hit absolutely nothing as the Knights do their best to try and defend the Knights of his opponent. and now going to be continuing to retreat back. We hear those mangonel shots firing off and getting a decent shot over onto a couple of the hardened spearmen, and now really Hutt in a difficult spot, I would say, as the knights begin to really do a lot of damage. He's got crossbows out on the front. You can tell by their beautiful yellow pants here, and mangonel continuing to fire off, and the knights managed to take it down. I don't think we've got any reinforcing mangonels at this stage. By the same token, we've still got these villagers that are looking to continue sieging up the majority of the infrastructure back towards this boar, and I tell you what, Hutt has somehow managed to hold. At this point, he is looking strong, but the horse archers are looking to reinforce that mangonel, which is coming in and doing significant damage out here. You can see just how much damage gets put onto those crossbows, and now more horse archers getting in on the front line. They're going to be careful. They got nothing to tank for them at the moment. No Boyar's Fortitude either, so they're going to have to do their best to get back. We do have the +2 ranged attack coming in here for the knights, and now mangonel shot, overshooting the mark there. You guys saw it, absolutely missing the mark. So unfortunate for him, and now going to be focusing down a single crossbow. So bugged prelate, not the only thing that's bugged. It also seems like his micro might be a little bit bugged as well. Apologies, bugged prelate. You're going to have to pick up your game after that one, that's for sure. We'll check over towards Hutt's base and see exactly what he sees. Knights up towards the north. Not a lot of health on those bad boys just yet. But look at this. Hutt's actually stolen the boar off his enemy, and it's very curious. You know, both boars have spawned on his opponent's side of the map. He got 3 relics. You know, that is a pretty decent haul over there, but Hutt's still managing to make it work, dropping down this mill in his opponent's territory and saying, hey, that's my boar. That is my boar. And now Hutt looking pretty strong right now, sitting on 700 gold a minute. Where's he getting that extra 100? Oh, he's got the sacred site in the middle. Okay, so he's got the 2 relics in the Regnitz, which is going to give him 600 gold a minute. Now, you might be looking at that going, Drongo, that says 200 a minute. No, that is what a normal relic would be giving. The Regnitz gives you that extra 200%. So yes, that is correct. It's times 3, an extra 200%. You got to think about the math. Okay, you got 100% of 1 is 1, but then you add 100%, and then that's 2. You add 200%, and then that's 3. So it is a huge bonus that he's going to be getting in there, and you can see as a result, he doesn't even need to be gathering up gold. And now we've got Regnitz Cathedral, rather, we've got the Arcade Chapel here, with a lot of farms going down around it. More upgrades coming through. It looks like he's going to be going for Military Academy, looking to reduce the training time of his units. Hutt is in a good spot here. He can actually wall off his opponent, and that is exactly what he's going to do. This is a big mistake from Bugged Prelate. Oh, he's going to actually lose his entire army here. So the full wall coming in here for Hutt. This is preemptive. He's going to move the villagers back just to make sure he doesn't lose them, because Bugged Prelate is going to be looking to find a way through here. A little bit of an attack now going to be coming in from the arrow slits, and Bugged Prelate, oh, he's in absolutely terrible shape. This is the ultimate trap coming in right now from Hutt, and look at the archers, the way that they move. He's going to try falling back and kiting, but he's just going to put himself in the corner. He ideally wanted to try and get out over towards this right side, but unfortunately he's going to get trapped in between the walls. He does know that they're up, but he probably doesn't realize exactly how far they go. They do go the entire way. He's going to try looking towards looping around this potential trading post. Not going to have a lot of luck, as now he really gets put in the corner. They say nobody puts the Bugged Prelate in the corner. Well, it turns out archers and crossbows do a great job of that. You can actually see him focusing down the crossbows on the back. They are a bit more expensive than the archer, and doing a great job at cleaning up the army of his opponent. That is a beautiful trap there from Hutt, and you got to really call him the trap master after that, because that was beautiful. Now towards the middle of the map, we've got more fights happening over towards the center sacred site, and it really looks like Hutt is beginning to take over this game. Just when you thought Rus was the strongest civ out of these two, it really starts to look like Hutt is beginning to take over. You see that score difference beginning to build as well. 1700 at the moment. Mangonel hasn't been particularly successful throughout the game, and now going to be firing onto these cavalry units. Ideally, he wants to be focusing on the back line, but he's never really got a chance to build up these Mangonel numbers. Ideally, you wanted to have 1 or 2 of them in addition to this one that comes out. So once you get that critical mass of about 2 or 3 mangonels, that's really when it's going to start looking beautiful. Now I'm continuing to fire off on the knight as it comes in, not doing a whole lot of damage, and meanwhile these crossbows are coming in. Reinforcements heading through from the base of Hutt, and he looks like he is going for the kill at the moment. Does he have the siege engineering? Let's have a look. No siege engineering just yet. He's getting decarbonization. We can see it coming through the +2 melee attack, so he's looking around at his composition. Got a beautiful comp here as well. Archers, crossbows, spears, knights, a scout in there for good measure. He's doing really, really well. The only real weakness to this composition is mangonels, but his opponent hasn't been able to really build up a significant mass of them. Ideally, you want to be hitting that critical mass with mangonels. We talked about it earlier. 2 to 3 mangonels is really where the sweet point begins to hit. So if you can build up that mass, that is when, you know, you can really look to capture and control the game, because you can wipe this entire force out with 3 mangonels. The only issue is you got to be able to defend them. We see only a limited amount of army here from his opponent. Bug Pellet doing his best to try and stay alive here. Mangonel going to be sieged down by scouts as well as knights. We see villagers coming over to repair it. A good shot coming out here, landing on a majority of these infantry units, and we can see that once again the Mangonel is failing to do what it needs to do. It needs to be turning around. There we go. Now it's turned around, but it looks like he's just tapped out. Bug Pellet taps out and says, you know what? I've had enough of these bugs. I've had enough of this game, and I'm going to throw the towel in. Fellas, if you've enjoyed this cast, make sure you check out Hut, a fellow Australian. He's on Twitch. He's an absolute boss, and I encourage you to say good day to him. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed it.